Hey, nerds! Beard Nerds Podcast. Denise and Mariah here to excitedly, with passion and gusto, love in our hearts, just beaming with just pride, joy to talk about season 2, episode 1, House of Dragons,
Nice.
House of the Dragon, whatever that show is called.
Someone's
Episode
house.
1, A Son for a Son. Mariah, how are you? Are you excited to be
I'm
back?
good. I am. I know it's been so long. It's been a while. But like this summer's jam packed. We have so many things. I don't know how we're gonna keep up. We can't. Like we're already behind. The boys got 3 episodes out. The movies that are coming out, Comic-Con, like I don't
Comic-Con.
We're gonna be like well into December still talking about summer stuff.
That's so fun though. I'm excited. It's a good time to be a nerd right now.
Yes, so much good
House
stuff.
of Dragon though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited. Before we start talking about House of Dragons, first shout out to our 2 fellow nerds who are not with us. Shauna, who is just at home, just being a mom still. So, hello, Shauna. We miss you.
Hello.
Come back to us soon, especially for this stuff, because there are times where I was watching the show like, Shauna, did this happen? Shauna, what happened in the book?
No, we definitely need Shauna here for any Game of Thrones, House of Dragon. Like we need like that the appendices. We need those details.
Yeah. And then our fellow co-star nerd, David, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
He's not with us today. He's off celebrating his birthday. But again, happy birthday to you, David. We miss you. I think you are both listening in, so feel free to text, comment on anything that you feel. That would, want to give me and Mariah kind of direction, feedback, in the moment commentary on what you're hearing.
Well, we already got a comment. David said, "I'm watching. My car smells like wild, terrible hibachi." So.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
All right. Well, okay.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Well, Mariah, what are you drinking? Let's start with that. Well, we always start with, what are you drinking?
So for Father's Day, my mom got Eric this like really smooth tequila. I don't have the bottle near me, so I don't know what it's called, but I've never seen that bottle before, never tried it before, but it was like the smoothest shot. So I'm mixing that with some pink lemonade.
Oh.
Yep.
Tequila and pink lemonade.
Yep. That's good.
Hey, no complaints here.
What are you drinking?
It is the first week of summer officially. Local, not kind of a local beer, it's kind of like an hour and a half away. 3 Notch Brewery down in Richmond, Virginia, has a beer called Summertime Ale Firefly Night. So I picked that up.
A really good beer.
Beer.
It's hot. Oh yeah, you like them extra.
Yeah. Shout out to my friend Sarah. She was a San Diego transplant like myself. So when I first got there and kind of was around IPAs, I thought they were the grossest thing ever. And she told me, one day you're going to wake up and just want one. I said, that's a lie from the pits of hell, because there's absolutely not. And then I moved back to Virginia, and then just like she said, one day I woke up and I craved a super strong hoppy IPA. So I picked this up thinking it was kind of like had some hops to it. It does not, now that I'm looking at the IBU count, but it's okay. It's pretty decent. So
could not get into. I still can't. I can't do them. Not the IPA is too much. No, but we were at the Padres game last month, and Coronado Brewing has a beer called Salty Crew, and it's really good.
Yeah,
really, really good.
Yep. I can't wait to come back to San Diego for the beer.
There was
one time I came to Comic-Con and checked an empty suitcase, because when I was coming back, I knew
I do remember that
it was 6-pack. Cannot wait. I might bring that back this year, because I need some. The local brewery, the local beer shop by my house used to get some beer from San Diego, so I was getting like Modern Times and stuff, but they haven't recently. So yeah, I might just bring it back with me.
It's probably too expensive. By the time they get it shipped and have to like sell it, I'm sure it's like not maybe worth it.
Possibly. It didn't stay on the shelf, so I would assume it was selling pretty decent. But I love Modern Times. I can't wait.
No, even just being up here in Irvine, like we went to San Diego, we went to the old like liquor store that we used to go to, and just we were looking
Yeah.
at all the beers and all the single cans of all the beers that like we just don't even see up here. So we like bought a bunch of random single cans and brought them back so we could try them.
Oh
There's so many
man.
new ciders and just
Wow.
everything. So
I can't
next
wait.
month,
Well, we have like
1
another
month.
month next month. It'll be here and gone before we know it. But that's not what we're here to talk about, Mariah. Sunday night,
Another Comic-Con episode.
another Comic
Another
Con
time.
episode. But Sunday night, 9 o'clock my time, 6 o'clock your time. We sat down. Oh no, you probably didn't. I
I watched
sat
it last
down.
night.
Okay. Well, I sat down as a community, as a family with Twitter, and we watched season 2, episode 1, A Son for a Son, at the same time as a family, as God intended. The memes were back, the tweets were back. I just cracking up even into today of the things that I saw. So definitely want to get into the episode. Get your thoughts, any predictions that you have. So let's go ahead and get it started. So we open up. We're back in the
You want an
north.
overall thought, or you just want to start from the beginning and work our way through?
I think we start from the beginning, work our way through, and then get the overall
Okay.
thought. Because I'm pumped to get into it.
Okay.
I'm excited to get
Okay.
to hear it. So we started in North. We're back.
Yep.
The first words we hear this episode, quote unquote, duty is sacrifice. We hear the Stark music. We see wolves. We're back. We're in the North. What were your thoughts when we were flying through the woods and you notice where we are? Like we're back.
Well, before that intro, I really love that intro. The stitching, that was so cool. Yes, I really. We can just go back a little bit. No, I really love that intro a lot. I wish though that they didn't have the same Game of Thrones music. Like I wish they would have like something else that was specifically for the show. But that was a really cool intro. I enjoyed watching that.
It's funny. Anissa was like, "Are we gonna skip this?" I was like, "Absolutely."
No, it's new. It's cool.
No.
And now there's so much to see, and they usually try to tie in some of the show within like the intro. So now I have to like watch back slowly to see some of the scenes that they were like putting together.
I still couldn't get it in the intro. I watched the intro at least 3 times. I had to go find a Twitter thread somewhere, and it like breaks down each panel for me because I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at. So there were some cool scenes in there, like you said, from not just what we saw in season 1, but just in the history in itself was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
But getting into it, yeah, no. So I rewatched a little bit today. I need the subtitles, and I didn't have them on the first time we were watching them with Eric, and so I had to I was watching this today, and I was like, okay, I kind of catching what's going on here. Yeah, 100%. And I thought it was kind of like a cool, intro back. We're getting back into the world. Kind of talking about back at the wall. So the first time I didn't realize that was her son until I had to watch it again with the subtitles so I could really hear what they were like. Well, I could read what they were saying.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, it was cool. Just kind of like kick off to what is going to be happening next. And kind of he's talking about the history a little bit and like what his family is there for the wall and the sacrifice and what they can and can't provide because we know the war is coming. So we're kind of just starting to talk about it again and what's next.
Right. So coming off of the last season and the last episode, we know what happened with Luke, unfortunately, when he was going out trying to lobby for his mom. So we see a completely different side of what happens when Jace is out lobbying for his mom. We'll find out later that he already got kind of like a word from someone else to say, as long as we get a dragon, you're good. We got you. And then we get to the Starks, and they're like, look, we got 2,000 men for you. They're war torn. They're weathered. They're older, but they will fight like you have never seen before. So we've already got 2 different ends of how their kind of expeditions out to get support for their mother has gone. To where we know what happens with Luke, and then Jace unfortunately finds out what happened to Luke while he is on the wall with Cregan. Cregan actually said something that was kind of interesting because it kind of lets me know that the High Towers or the Targaryens have already approached him He said, "You at least had the mercy not to threaten me with your dragon."
Yeah.
So he definitely appreciated that. He liked the way that Jace presented himself to him,
Mm-hmm.
and just was just like, "Hey, we need you. Can you help us?" Instead of just coming in full scroll. Because
Yeah.
we see in the later in the episodes, that's all Aegon wants to do is just
Yeah.
come in and just basically say, "Look, I have Sunfire. He has Vhagar. We just going to come in here and burn your sit down if you don't bend the knee." So
Yeah.
yeah, that was cool. And then it was pretty funny. Jace was just like, "Look, you're up here at this wall. We're fighting a real war, not your little fake war where you're trying to keep out wildlings and weather." And he's just like, "Look, we
We didn't build this shit for that.
700
Yeah.
foot wall of ice for nothing to keep out weather and wildlings. Like that's not what this wall is for."
I hope this episode is bringing a lot of foreshadowing because there's a lot of scenes where I just feel like things that are said we're definitely going to see later. So I hope we do get to see White Walkers again later in this season, somehow in this war or something, or they're going to bring it back.
It would be cool
later on, even if not this season, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to bring them back, interfere in this war or something.
It kind of scared me, so I don't know. But if you want to see them, I'm all for it. I'll pretend I didn't. Our next scene, we've got our Auntie Rhaenys and Meleys are back from patrol in the gullet. You know, they're trying to make sure that the blockade stays. She parks to go refresh, get some Meleys some food. She's just gonna take a break, and then Daemon comes out and tries to like puff his chest up.
Yeah.
Get back on. We're going back out.
Like, nope.
He says, "No, we're not." Daemon really he's basically stating his plot right now is I just want to kill Vhagar. He feels like Vhagar is the key. Is right now it really is. And the more you hear during the episode, people keep saying Vhagar's name. It's kind of Vhagar versus everybody at this point.
Yeah.
They need her at King's Landing because they know if she's gone, everybody's going to come attack, or they fear Rhaenyra's going to come attack. So Vhagar needs to stay there. Vhagar is going to be our protection. She is our threat to keep anyone else from coming in here. So Daemon knows off top, I gotta get through Vhagar to get to them.
Yeah. He's just upset. You know, why didn't we take care of this before? Like, he's not thinking of, his, and she says it, like, his revenge. Like, that's how he wants to handle it. It's just go full force revenge. Whereas Rhaenyra, she is mourning. I mean, she lost her son. And then I think I read that her dragon is the mother of Luke's dragon. So they were both mourning in that scene. Yeah.
That's where I was like, Shauna, I need you to confirm if this is true. That broke my heart hearing that and reading that. But something you said is just like, we didn't act. And he didn't look at her and say, we didn't act. He looked at her and said, had you acted, we wouldn't be in this situation. So he's not like taking the blame and spreading it out. He's just like, look, it's on you right now. You didn't act. So here's where we are. So we need to go back out and settle this right now. The mother grieves as the queen shirks her duties, is what he says when Rhaenys is like, look, she's taking the time she needs right now to pull herself together and to just mentally be here because her child is dead.
Yeah.
So that's where he's like two different people. She's not the same person. The mother is grieving and the queen is shirking her duties.
Yep.
Just wild to me, like how, and it is another thing too, and I don't remember if he says it here or if he said it later, but she's been gone for 3 days. And the show does, I know we talked about it last season, they do a good job of like telling you how much time has passed so that way you know kind of where you are. Because it's easy, we've been waiting for a year. So to us, it could be a year later, it could be 2 years
months,
later.
Yep.
This is still in the same week. It's still super fresh that her child is dead.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that's tough.
And she says it as well. Like as soon as she can find him, like just because someone said it or it's a possibility, like she needs to know for sure, 100 for fact, find the body to move on.
That which any person would need. That's not anything like out of the ordinary to need to move on. Not just from your child, but from any situation. You kind of need some tangible closure to it. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Rhaenys looks and says she's not acted on the vengeful impulse others might have. And she's saying it in a generic term, but she's talking to
She,
him.
yeah, oh, she's definitely directing it straight to him. Yeah.
Absolutely. So he basically tries to order her around, and she says, if you were the king. If you were
Yep.
the king, absolutely. But guess what?
Nope.
No. Try after her, because she tried it. I don't know. Then we get a quick look at Ray Ray and Cyrex on this door, just keeping watch because they know the area of where they are, and they're just waiting for something to come ashore. So we just see just a look of her and her dragon just looking out, just keeping watch. Broke my heart, man. Just because in that moment I didn't know she was gonna get the closure she needed. I you would know if she's in the right spot, if it's gonna wash ashore at that time. So thankfully we find out that she does get it. But at the time you're just like, man, I hope whatever you need, you get it out there.
Yeah, but it had to happen like soon so we can like move on and get going with like the rest of this, like the show and like what's going to be coming next. Because if they dragged it out, it's just, it's important and it needs to happen, but like to drag it out, it wouldn't make sense. So I'm glad that we were able to like get it and we can move on to the next scene.
Yeah. The next two scenes, I don't know if you have much to say about them. I kind of didn't, but we saw Corlys. He's basically back at his ship and just talking to the person that pulled him out and rescued him. We do see that the blacksmith delivered Luke's sword that he had kind of made for Luke. That gets delivered to him.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about that yet. I know more will come on that later. With whoever that person was and whatever that scene was. He's just ready. Corlys is just ready to get back out there and back into the sea, but he's a little injured, so he's got to rest up a little bit. And then we get a first look at that bum ass scorpion. As soon as I saw it, I was like, too soon, man. Too soon. They're pointed in the sky. They're just like a dragon is coming, and I'm like, you can see from 80 miles away that that's Vhagar.
Yeah.
Just holes all in the wings. The fact that you can see her, she's the biggest thing ever. So that's Vhagar. And they just did that just to show that, hey, scorpions are here in this time. So, that killed me. I don't know. But we get a live look at Crispin and Alicent. Duty be damned. What would she say? Honor and decency in this house?
Yeah.
Mrs. Honor and Mrs. Decency.
It's the last time. Never again.
No, it's not. We can't do this anymore. And it's funny because you and I know if there's a man that we really like, we can't do this anymore. And sometimes they'll be combative, they'll argue, they'll fight, they'll plead their case. Crispin didn't do any of that. What did he do, Mariah? Do you remember what he did?
No.
He just said, okay. And he picked up his cape and he handed it to her and said, if you would, please. And he turned around and he let her put his cape on. And when he did that.
Yeah. I thought him having her put the cape on was kind of like weird, almost like she was, you would to like a king or you would to someone like you were like respect. I don't know. It was kind of like a weird, like, okay, bitch, he just put this on and we can move on. Yeah.
It was just like, as soon as he did it, I said, you bitch. I said, how many times have you put this cape on by yourself? How do you know you put this cape on, Crispin? She's not there in the mornings to help you get dressed. How do you get this on? So when he turned around and he just said, yeah, you're right. Can't do this anymore. Just help me put this on. And then they shared that moment.
Let me just pick you up and put you in my pocket and continue on. Yeah.
A little bit. I saw right through him and he saw right through her. He was just like, yeah, okay. Help me put this on.
Because Alicent, she's just all emotion. Like, she's just emotional. Like, all her decisions, like, he knows it's not like the queen is telling, like she has this like authority and she's, serious and can be, there's no respect for, no one respects her.
No, no. I mean, we'll get into it later, but he makes a lot of excuses for her. But he also kind of just he knows how soft her heart is, and he
Yeah.
played right into it because
Yep.
she was like, "Yeah, we can't do this anymore." And she probably meant it. I don't know, but he was just like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, help me put this on." And then it was just like, "Still got you." I don't know. I just thought that was when that happened.
Yeah.
I was like, "How do you get dressed in the morning? She's not there. Put it on yourself."
I did think
But
that
the
was
fact that
weird.
she didn't say that, and then she acted and turned around, and he turned around, and she helped him put it on, I was like, okay, no, you're
Hmm.
still right there with him.
I mean, 'cause that's not the first. Like you said, yeah, it's not the first time. She's probably said this before, many a times.
We're right back there. They're the worst. I don't know. I as soon as I saw them, I was like, of course we would see it. The first scene we see her is she's doing something fuck ass. And I don't know. This is how I feel. Then we moved to Helena, Princess Helena. No, Queen Helena.
Queen Elena. You
Queen
know, what's
Helena.
nice, like now with the second season and kind of knowing the characters, as soon as I saw her and she started to speak, I was like, okay, I need to be paying attention to what she's saying because now I know that she's going to say something that's a comeback later, and it did. So I was like very intentional of like listening to what she was saying, and then she said them rats, and I was like, rats are not rats. Rats are probably people.
Right. As soon as I said, "Oh, the Riddler's back," and it's funny because she's sewing. He is coming in the room, but he's busting the room looking for Jaehaerys, his firstborn son, to say, "Look, I'm the king. He needs to be in the small council with me just as soon as he can, picking up everything that I'm doing
Yeah,
because he is my heir to the throne. He's going to be doing this one day. He needs to get started as soon as possible." We know that Viserys didn't do that with him. The
yeah.
heir to his throne was Rhaenyra. So
Mm-hmm.
anytime he would have Rhaenyra near him. So
Yep. He never
Viserys
got
was
the
like, nope.
opportunity. Mm-hmm.
Harris is going to be right there beside me. Where is he? I need him right now. He's going to come right into the small council with me. On his way out, Helena says, "I'm afraid." To where I mean, rightfully so, was just like, "Don't be scared. Vagar's right here. Like, we're good." And
Yeah.
she's like, "Nope, of the rats." And everyone in the room just started like looking around, like, "The fuck do you mean, the rats?" And then he kind of chuckled and looked around and said, "The queen is an enduring mystery, is she not?" And then leaves the room.
That's the nice way of saying dumbass.
Or just
It was
she's just
crazy.
she's just never ending. She's constantly with the riddles. She's constantly with the
Speaking
clues and the
nonsense.
cryptic shit. Is
Yeah.
she not? And she is, but she's been right. Like she's been afraid of the terror
Yeah.
beneath the floorboards and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's been on point. So at this point,
Yeah.
if she says she's afraid of the rat, like you said, okay, if she doesn't mean physical rats, what could she mean? Like I'm paying attention to what she says.
Yeah.
It's just weird that they're not.
I don't think because as a viewer, like we're hearing it and then we're seeing it, but they're not seeing like the consequences of like what she's saying. So I don't think they're putting two and two that when she said the floorboards or she's saying like I don't think they're putting those things together because they're not really seeing the outcome like we are.
Yeah, that'll come back to bite them. I mean, yeah, come back to torment them pretty bad in the future. But for right now, Aegon brings his son to the small council, and this little boy
I'm so
proceeds
glad.
to torment Tywin
Yeah.
Lannister. That was the funniest thing. And I will say, like, watching Aemon bust in the room with Helena and her handmaids. I don't know if you noticed, everyone immediately stiffened up when he came in the room,
Yeah.
except for Helena.
Mm-hmm.
The
I'll
handmaids
look down.
immediately
Mm-hmm.
stiffened up, stood in place, and they did not move. When he left, the camera kind of visibly like lingered in the room a little bit. So you can literally see them relax. Their body like shrunk into like their body just relaxed, and they just started doing what they were doing. So immediately to me, I was like, he's another fucking Joffrey, or he's the first Joffrey to me. Like he is a
Yeah.
Joffrey.
Uh-huh.
He's going to rule with the crazy hand. That's what he's going to do when he's in the small council room. The way he was kind of treating Thailand with Jaehaerys, he's
Mm-hmm.
your pony. get on him, ride him right now, I was like, oh my god, we definitely have another Joffrey on our hands.
Yeah, but I like that Jaehaerys was acting up because, like Helena said, like he's not the king. He doesn't want to be king, and then for him to go in there act like a kid and be, you know, whatever, it was kind of like haha, like
no,
she said that he's not ready. He's 2 or 3, like
did not need to be in that room. They're in the room talking about strategies, alliances, the blockades, how it's strangling them, and then poor Alicent has one thing on her mind, and it is her friendship and her love for Rhaenyra. And she asked them, "Has anybody heard if she has responded to my letters?" And then someone at the table says, "An apology for her dead son." Like, what the fuck? No, she's not going to respond to that. What the fuck is your problem? Like, she's still often just la-la.
Again, delusional.
She's very delusional. To the point sometimes where I don't know.
Playing with emotion. She still thinks it's her friend. Like sending letters, apologies. Like she's not thinking like a queen about to go to war. And not that she really ever has, but she's, I don't know.
She says that, but then when she's with her dad later, she's like, "Look, victory to me is her bending the knee, Aegon on the throne, and that's victory." And her dad is like, "Okay, well, if that's what you want, there's going to be war to get it." And she's like, "Yeah, I know. You're right. I know." So to me, I'm
she like wants her to just to like respond to the letter and say everything's good, and then we can just move forward in life.
That's not gonna happen. Like it's just crazy to me that she thinks that's going to happen. I don't know. So when that man spoke up, like to where people could hear him and said, "An apology for her dead son," like what? Like, oh shit, he said that so people could hear him. Like, it was just funny. It was just funny. Funny that she was waiting for a response. Funny that he said it. Just that whole scene was just comedy to me. I don't know. Larys tells Alicent that when you see her, like, "Hey, I came to see you, but your people told me you were indisposed."
I cannot stand him. As soon as I see him creeping out the sides, and then, so are you jealous? Like why? Why would you say? And then I got rid of everyone. I brought in my own people.
Everyone.
Like he's still trying to like show his worth to her.
He is.
He's creepy.
They're no longer breathing our air. So the people that, I come to see you, you came to see me, and the people that you've replaced my people with tell you that I'm indisposed. So God only knows how long they've been watching me, and now they know who I'm in the room with, and they're telling you. So you know exactly who I'm in the room with. Yeah. And you know what's happening. I can't with him.
So I got rid of them because they spoke the truth. They're not loyal like me.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Let me see your feet, Alicent.
Oh, I don't know if we can get like feet scenes again. I don't think. Are we going to get feet scenes this season?
I don't think so.
He's going to get from somebody if he's not getting it from her.
One of them maids he fired.
No, he killed them all.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Probably took a foot.
Like a prize, a trophy.
I'm interested to see what happens with his character though. Like what's the point of him at this? Like what is he gonna turn on her? Like will he end up being an enemy? Like when he doesn't get what he wants? I'm interested to see what they do with him.
He absolutely is going to.
Or is he gonna do something to Crispin? Like is he gonna like betray him or kill him or say that he's betrayed her? Like I don't know. He's gonna set him up at least at minimum. He's gonna set him up.
100% is going to get in Aegon's ear like he already is trying to be the hand of the throne, hand of the king. He's going to be kind of above, I feel like above, what's her face? Like Alicent, and she's just going to be a full-time OnlyFans model for him. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, where are we at now? So Allison is in the bathtub and she's with the new handmaidens, and she remembers that, hey, you've replaced all of my people.
Oh yeah, she's freaked out.
Wouldn't you
Yeah, I'd be like, this is creepy.
be? You're
I wouldn't want
completely
anyone. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And then I don't know if you noticed, and I don't understand why this happened. I remember I thought it was something with when she was a kid. I don't remember, but she started scrubbing in one spot on her arm.
yeah. She was like going hard on the.
Oh, that broke my heart. But I can't remember why she was doing that. But I do remember she was doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Almost like that she maybe had like the ick. I don't know, because she was like when she like realized it and was like, you guys need to like get out. I don't know if she was like a nervous like tick or something. But
I don't remember. Maybe. Well, I don't know. Then we go back to Ray and Cyrax. We're back on the shore with them. She's standing on the shore, but something does wash up, right? So she flies over, just flies down on top of these people. They start screaming, "Oh my God, a dragon is coming!" Which of course anyone would, and they take off running. Now,
mhm.
this next scene, it was the only time I cried in this episode. I her not just having the wing right there, but then finding his clothes and tangled up in that
Yeah.
net. That I couldn't take it. That was awful. I do like that before they moved on to the next scene, they didn't just pull back and show us, the two of them on the beach having that moment. They pulled back and we saw it from the view of the
Uh-huh.
townsfolk that just
Yeah.
ran off screaming. So
Mhm.
they could see that, hey, she's not here to be some
Yep.
intimidating threat. She really is a grieving mother right now.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh man, that
And I guess
broke
the
my heart.
townsfolk, though, I mean, we're thinking, if this is only 3 days, and they're not obviously involved or related, they may not know why she's grieving. Obviously, they saw that it was a dragon wing from being up close, but they
Yeah,
probably have not put together like what exactly has happened. But they do
right.
know somehow she's connected to that wing in some way.
Oh man, that was hard. And then yeah, it did hit harder when you go on Twitter a day or two later and you hear, oh, that's also, the dragon's
Yep.
mother. Cyrax was the dragon's
Mm-hmm.
mom too. So they're both two moms having a grieving
Grieving.
moment.
Mm-hmm.
Mariah, help! I don't know. It's so sad. I can't. Um. Okay. So then we go back to the throne room and find out that Aegon isn't really terrible at this.
Yeah.
The townsfolk were coming to petition to the king their grievances, to which I was just on the edge of my seat. I thought, oh my God, brutal shit is about to happen.
And he
The
was
first
like,
man
nope,
is like,
sure.
look, yeah, you guys are taking a lot of my flock. And he goes, okay, we'll give it back. And then
Yeah.
Otto walks up and he's like, we can't. And he's like, all right, fine. Then the next person walks up and has a grievance. And then it's just, we're going to take care of it. Don't you worry about it. You won't have this problem anymore. The blacksmith walks up and he's like, look, I need money. Scorpions take money. All of this takes money. We're
Yeah.
here for you, but we need money. And he's like, look, I can't win this without you.
Yep.
You're going to get paid. Don't you worry. Otto, it keeps coming back up to the
I
throne to
know.
have conversations with him. And on that third time up, he looks at him and says, look, get the fuck out of here. I can't win without the small folks.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, those are, reasonable. He's reasonable, at least it seems at this point. Those are reasonable requests. To say no to the sheep or the goat, like, okay, like you do need them for whatever, but to be like, we'll pay you up front if that's what you need to make the swords. Like,
Right.
why would you say no to that?
Right.
Like,
You'll be paid and you'll
they're
be
trying to
paid
help
well.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do this without you, so we're going to take care of you. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. And then, yeah, he was like, we can't do this with the small folk, Otto. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Laris is watching all of this from the top. So
Yeah.
he pulls him aside afterwards and says, hey, look, I want a quiet word with you. Just so you know, your grandfather was controlling. He used a word. He controlled your father in the same way. So just making it known that, hey, look, I'm here. I'm not going to control you in that way. Maybe it's time
Yeah.
for a new hand of the king. He's been there for 3 kings. Maybe it's time for like a change.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so much happening right now. It's just episode one. So much shit is happening. Allison and Otto have a conversation, and this is where we talked about earlier, where they're both aligned in that victory to them looks like Ray bending the knee and
Yeah.
Aegon on the throne. Allison is very keen to the fact of, look, I have my boys separately. I have their
Uh-huh.
ear right now, but that can change at any moment. And if it does, like, they're not going to listen to me anymore. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, they hear me, but that may very well change in the future.
Yeah. And
I'm
she's the
surprised she thinks they listen to her.
I mean delusional again, but she's just the only one with her mindset of like how this is all gonna go down.
Yeah.
I I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if she like flops. Well, and now with that ending, she might no longer feel the way that she felt. We might see this like a different side of Allison moving forward after that ending. So,
Yeah.
and just see
And
how her
she
character
says,
changes or builds.
yeah, and then she says something in here, and they kind of say this to each other, or say this about each other. She tells her father that Amos is angry right now. They took his eye. They were never punished for it. He's just angry. And then we'll hear later from Aemon. Aemon's going to say the same about his mom. She's just angry. So it's
Uh-huh.
just funny how the two of them are just both like, they're just, the other side is just mad right now. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This that castle just has some. It's kind of like they're all in
Because
the
it's
same group,
done
but
out of
they're
lies.
not.
It's always like what happens in the dark comes to light. That whole castle, the whole king, like we know who the rightful heir. We know who should be there. So it's almost like karma. Like they're not cohesive. They're not on the same team per se, as in they want the
Right.
same exact goal, like the
Which is
same
what's so
outcome, the same
crazy.
goal, the same plan.
Because they both live under the same. They all live under the same roof, and it's just like, how are you all just so all over the place with your
Different
thoughts?
agendas. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Ray is back though. Ray's back. She comes in the castle. Damon is just like, look, did you find what you need? Because Rhaenys was like, look, she needs closure. She needs a
Yeah.
body. She needs to see that that's what
Uh
happened.
huh.
He asked her, did you find it? She says yes. She walks to the front. Everyone is kind of giving their updates on what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
She says the only line that she has in this show, and it's 4 words. All she says is, I want Aemon Targaryen. And she goes to her room. She walks off.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm at that table, I'm getting Aemon.
And it says a lot that those are the only words, like you said, that she says. And at the end of the end of the show, she gets something. So I hope that's like a little bit of foreshadowing what we're going to see later on in terms of like we she doesn't have to say a lot, and she said what she said, and she's getting what she says.
I My thing is, you're saying she gets something that's not what she wanted, and I don't think she didn't want that at all. What she got. Um,
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
that was someone else being impulsive, and he kind of and hearing something completely, like, again, you have people who are under the same roof. This is your wife. You kind of should be in tune. Where if Eric says, "I want this cheeseburger," you're not going to go off and get him a cheese steak from somewhere else. You know what I mean?
but I
Like,
think getting to the next best thing was kind of like a step. Maybe it was kind of like a message, at least what they could get. I mean, they could that was like easy. That was an easy target, is get the sleeping child who was heir to the throne. So it was
that is
kind of
such a
like
big
maybe
move,
the
though.
yeah. But they
That
can't
is
just
such a
kill
good
him.
move.
You know, they got to start somewhere. Like, you can't
I
just
hear it, but at the same time,
get him in
that
episode
can't
1.
be. Like, we'll get to it, but I'm just like, no, that wasn't the move, Damon. He fucked up on that one, like heavy fucked up on that one. But yeah, so Damon at this point has found the white worm, so Missandra is back in all her stupid ass accent glory. But as soon as
I
she
forgot
says,
all about her until she started talking. I was like, oh my god,
and it's
we
like
had to
she
change
throws
it.
her lips up to be
I
extra
know.
with it.
It's
Man.
weird. I don't even know where that's from. Like I like she's like taking a few accents from different. I don't know. It's too weird.
I don't
I don't
know.
like it.
The
Every time she
direction,
talks.
I'm sure whatever direction they gave her for the accent, she went in a completely, she like went past and kept going and then just picked up whatever this
It's
voice
almost
is.
got
I
this
hate
like
it.
Louisiana Cajun thing to it, but then but it's not. I don't know.
So David is like, look, you're going to be down here forever for the rest of your life. I don't want to see you again. But as soon as Ray says, I want Aemon Targaryen, you can see him at the table like, oh, okay. And he goes down to her and he's like, look, if you tell me how to get in there and get him, I'll let you free. I want Aemon. She wants Aemon, so I want Aemon. Tell me how to get Aemon. Jace is back. And this one also was a very touching moment. Jace is back to give Ray her updates. He approaches her as Your Grace, not like mom or anything. He's like, Your Grace, I have this for you. I have that for you. His voice breaks when he gives the Stark update. And then she stands up and then he reaches out for her and then they just collapse in each other's arms. That was such a hard scene to watch.
Yeah.
I know she only had one spoken line in this episode, but her body language and her visual cues, she actually had way more lines in this. And I ached for her. I know coming in the last episode, we were like, look, Ray, you were stupid for sending him out there. You should have known this was going to happen. You know, there was no way for her to know this was how it was going to be. But we were just like, look, you didn't win a Mother of the Year award by sending your child out into like a potential war, you know, like situation scenario and expecting him to be okay. I mean, there was no way for her to expect this. She didn't know this. And I'm for sure, no, she wouldn't have sent him out knowing this would have been the outcome. So seeing it last season, I was just like, Ray, you should have known better. Seeing it now, I'm just like, damn, man. Like, I don't know what to do.
Having someone, you know, close to her die, I think puts a fire like under her ass as well. Like it's a different type of anger that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise, because now it's it was personal, but now it's like it's very personal. Like there's a different anger behind it and a different like revenge. And I don't know. I think we talked about houses being in line, and I think that I think this is going to put her more in line with Damien in terms of like revenge and like a plan than it would have before, with her just wanting to be like queen. But now it's like, okay, you killed my son, so now we gotta, it's gonna separate them.
I think it's the opposite, not just because I think she was very specific in what she said she wanted, and he did not deliver that. At least if you're gonna go act against me, it's not what I wanted. I was very specific in what I wanted. I didn't say I want a son. I want Aemon Targaryen. And again, those were the only words I spoke. And to do that, to sneak into their castle and kill a baby while he's sleeping, delivers such a message of how we are just tyrants and we don't have couth, and it just delivers such a bad message. Like I don't think it delivers the message that they want.
No, I mean, yeah, I can see that. It definitely was kind of like a cheap shot.
Absolutely. It's like a sucker punch.
Yeah. But no way that she's expected them just to go out. I mean, like, to get Aemon, like, right away. I mean, we couldn't have, expected that either. I feel like when she said it, she didn't mean, like, tomorrow. Like, she just meant, like, this is the end goal.
The end goal is I want Aemon.
Not you need to go sneak out tomorrow and go kill him.
She would have said that. I feel like she would have been like,
Yeah.
I want him right now. Have him to me by tomorrow. She would have said
Yeah.
that. I
She
want
would.
Amy
Yeah.
pregnant.
She's very intentional. So yeah.
Yeah.
And again, and David wants revenge, so he just took it and ran. Get something.
Right.
He wanted to kill somebody. He wanted something. Yeah.
Like you said,
Yeah.
she's very intentional. She took off for those few days to have time to sit with herself and reflect. And it after 3 days later, she was still like, I want him. And yeah, to your point, if she wanted it tomorrow, that night, she would have said it. I want him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Eamon's mama is saying prayers for the night. Her first one is for Allery Florent. Do you know who the fuck that is?
Mm-mm.
Me either. I was trying to find it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Damn, Google keeps pulling me up somebody else. I don't even know who this is.
What's the name?
It was like Allery Florence or something like that. Oh, it's Allison's mama. So she said a prayer for her mom, then she said a prayer for Viserys, and then she said a prayer. And it was funny because she hesitated, and live on Twitter, everybody was like, "You better not say you better not say his name. His name better not come out your mouth. Don't you say his name." We were all very, very hesitant. At the same time, the funeral was going on for Luke. We were like, "Don't you say it, Allison. Don't you say his name." And then she said Lucerys Valerion, and we were like, "You bitch! Take that candle. Don't you take that candle back." Ugh. He's the worst. Again, Rhaenyra speaks. Daemon throws on his murder cloak. He's out there like, I gotta make it. My baby wants Aemon. We're gonna go get Aemon. He finds some people to run up in the castle that know him or that know the castle.
The rat catcher.
And his directions were pretty clear. Like, find and kill him.
Yeah.
Over here, one eye, you can't miss him. He can fight. Watch out. He can cuss a little bit. And then they say, what if we can't find him? And then the camera cuts, and you don't know how he answered that. You hope he would say, look, she wants Aemon. If you can't find him, it is what it is.
But
this is where I feel like they're not. He's just doing whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
Because you find out later in the room what he says. Before we get to the room, though, we see Aemon and Crispin are kind of having little talks to themselves. And this is where Aemon looks at Crispin and says, look, she's angry. Allison is saying Aemon is angry because he has an eye. Aemon is saying Allison is angry because I killed her best friend's son. And she blames me for starting this war after she plotted with my father's council to usurp his throne. Mariah. This boy knows.
Yeah.
He knows. It's not Aegon's throne. Did your jaw not drop? My jaw dropped. Everything in me. I was like, you know.
I mean,
was that not like a plot twist?
He grew up in that household with her. He was, like you said, he was never invited to anything. He 100% knows.
To say it out loud.
But yes, yeah, it makes it like real. It makes
To our guard.
Yeah.
To say, look.
Yeah.
She starts me. She blames me for starting this war after she sat with my father's council and planned to take that throne.
Yeah.
He knows that's not their throne. He knows she sat there and planned and plotted against this. He was like, this was planned. She knows it. She knew it.
Yeah.
And here goes Crispin. But before he says that, he says, Your Grace, her Grace speaks with two tongues. He's talking about his mother. Right? You're not shocked enough for me. I'm like, Mariah, her Grace
I am not as shocked as you, but yeah.
I don't understand how. But Crispin, of course, the little simp that he is, he defends her and he tries. Because Aemon is like, no, she loves our enemy. Bro, she loves our enemy.
Well, you heard her earlier. She
how calm you are right now. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know.
Because we know. I mean, we know. I mean, yeah, it's being said out loud and like for the they're but yeah, we know. But it's like finally, at least everyone else knows and everyone else can admit it.
Okay, well, I was shocked if you weren't. I'm shocked enough for the both of us because I'm just like, Aemon, as much as I don't like him, he knows enough to know what's going on. He sees what's happening. He's not as he's very observant. He sees what's happening. So then we have Blood and Cheese sneaking into the castle to do the thing. There's a scene that happens here that everyone's pretty like hype about, and that is he's kicking that dog. And when
as soon as he kicked the dog, I thought of you.
First of all, he kicked the dog. He fucking punted the dog. The dog went airborne and like a few yards away. He punted that dog. And I will say, because people are like, why is this such like what shocked you more? Was it the beheading of the child or was it the dog? And here's my thing. After last season, when season 1 ended, people were talking about blood and cheese. I had no idea what that was. Mm-hmm. So I went to Google and I looked it up. Because part of me doesn't want to be shocked completely when this stuff happens. I'm fine. So I looked it up and I said, okay, here's what happens with blood and cheese, right? So coming in, I kind of forgot what happened, but I knew it was pretty terrible. That was already written in the books, right? The whole blood and cheese situation. We'll get to that in a second because it kind of wasn't, but it was in the books what was about to happen. What wasn't in the fucking books, unless I'm completely mistaken, and Shauna can tell me, was punching the fucking dog. Why did that happen?
Yeah, it was unnecessary.
It's almost like the dog was there just to get kicked. I don't understand why the dog was there. So we've seen the dog in the background all episode walking around with a rat catcher. Because I'm assuming he points out the rats and helps.
Yeah.
Why did you kick him?
I don't know.
Neither here nor there. So we go upstairs into the room. They're looking around for Helena. The maid who looks like Frida Kahlo sees blood, and she's just like watching him. He's watching her, pretending to lay traps down.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Cheese finds the queen's room, so he's in the room with Helena and the kids.
Yeah.
Now, what happens next? So I see it's kind of like debate. Like there's kind of like just a lot of discord on Twitter about this on how they changed this scene.
Okay.
So in the book, and I'm just going to summarize this super loosely, but in the book, they come to the castle. They go into the room. There might be a little essay happening too, but they look at her and they say, pick which one. She picks the younger one because to her, he won't remember that she selected him to be killed. And they look at him and say, you hear that? Basically, you hear that your mom wants you dead. They say it to the child, and they kill the other child and leave the one that they said, your mom wants you dead alive. Shit. Yes. And then that drives her into madness.
Yeah.
So in this one, they're like, which one is it? Like, who is it? Because they can't find Aemond. And then one of them says, well, you heard what he said, a son for a son.
Well, they walk past him. He's on the chair drinking with his friends.
Well, that was Aegon.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. We don't know where Aemond is. Yeah, sorry. Aegon was the one that was down there. Yeah.
So they can't find Aemond, and he says, you know what he said, a son for a son. Because they're trying to kill Helena. And he's like, that's not what he said, a son for a son.
Yep.
So back earlier in the scene when they said, well, what happens if we can't find Aemon? You know what Damon said when they cut
Yeah.
away, because they said a son for a son.
Yep. Any
So
son.
they have her pick it out, and she picks Jaehaerys.
I thought at first, I mean, I kind of, recognized that the girl had the shorter hair. So I knew that she had picked the right one. But at first I was, and Eric said this too, thinking like she would have just picked the girl because as like a trick, obviously, like she wouldn't want the heir to be the one. But so I was surprised that she truly picked the son.
Right.
To be killed.
Because Blood was like, oh, she's lying. It's got to be the other one. And she looked at her face and was like, no, she pointed him out. That's the right one. And then she picks up the girl and runs out the room, and they continue to just cut his head off.
They continued. It was like it's how long could this possibly take? Look at the child. They were just like going at it.
Alive. That baby was alive and awake. That was awful. Ugh. So
she runs in the room.
Distraught, running around the castle with her daughter, and runs in her mama's room. Because of course you're going to run to the room of comfort. You're going to run straight to your mom. I would want my mom in that moment. 2 huge men just came into my room, had a knife to my throat, threatened my kids, and beheaded one of them. I want my mom. And then what's her fuck ass mama doing?
Fucking Crispin.
Fucking Crispin. So she dropped to the floor and said they killed the boy.
I'm actually pretty shocked that she truly pointed out the boy in that scene. Like I think that she's smart enough, like that she would have like, done the trick and done something else, but maybe she really isn't, I don't know, all there. But okay, so I think that because of the things that she says, because we obviously know that she has like these prophecies, or she like definitely can see the future. So maybe her picking it out is because she wants these things to like follow through or be true, if that makes sense. Like it makes sense for her not to pick the boy, but because she's so like tied in with like, I guess maybe prophecies, or like tied in with things like coming to fruition of what are being said, that she did what was not expected. Like she picked the boy when she should have picked the girl. I don't know if that makes sense. That might be kind of confusing, but
no, I genuinely don't know why she did it.
It doesn't make sense.
She was just doing what she was told. Like they were just like, which one is the boy? And
like,
that one. Like,
out of fear, I guess.
Yeah.
Because she took a moment to answer, so that's why I was, why, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if that was for the people in the books, for her to take a moment to answer, to be like, oh, is she going to trick him, like like she did in the book? But, no, she pointed straight to him. Damn.
Yeah.
I basically Twitter was just laughing because it was just like at least one person was excited, and Tywin Lannister was one person that was just like that benefited from that scene. As horrible as that is. After that scene, I was like, well, we're back. Punching dogs, killing kids. We're back. Season 2, episode 1 is a wrap after that. I'm sure next week, I think I looked at the coming ahead. I can't remember, but I'm sure all hell breaks loose, of course, because they slipped into the castle and killed the king's son in his room. So any semblance of Aegon being a nice and generous king is about to go out the window. I am sure. I'm sure Rhaenyra is going to be just fucking pissed at Daemon, because again, that is not what she said. That is not what she wanted. And
they could have been. I think I said earlier about them being on the same planet. Like I think they were. Like I think the episode we would have, when she says I want Aegon. Like I think like they were on the same path. Like they had the same plan. Like they would have had the equal revenge. But that scene at the end, them just killing any son, like it's gonna be interesting to see what like how they play her reaction. Like, you know, I don't know.
I don't either. He's too impulsive. He acting like that without including her, without telling her. That's just too. It's too impulsive.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What do you think? We're back. Season 2, episode 1. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, overall, really good. I actually thought that maybe there was going to be, I actually thought that maybe they would have jumped in more. Like, I thought right away that they were going to get more into the war. But I do like that we kind of got a little bit of a slower episode in terms of like the morning, you know, it kind of just like this built up a little, you know, kind of set us up for what there is to come. But I kind of was expecting like kind of more of a like punch in terms of like what we were going to get. But that ending kind of made up for it. That kind of was like a good, like, okay, shit's about to go down now.
It was so funny. Anissa was sitting beside me. We were watching the episode together. And as soon as the scene went black after they, killed him, it went black and she just started laughing. But not like a ha 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 that was funny laugh. It was just like a mad person just laugh. And I just looked at her and I was like, are you laughing right now? And it was just like, yeah. It was just like, what do you do now? Like, they just fucking killed a child. They beheaded a child.
Yeah.
I don't know. Last year we did this panel at Comic-Con, hero versus ego. And it's funny because during this episode, I'm just looking at Damon and I'm just like, I guarantee he thinks everything he's doing right now is just so heroic. Like he's just being a hero. And I was just like, it is 1000% ego right now. I'm just interested to see where he goes because he's just so far off from where everyone else is on just where they are. Kind of like with Eamon, everyone else is in that castle is just very strategic, and he walks in. He's like, "We need to do this. We got to do this, and we just got to go. Like we just cut him off here, and then that's it." So that's where we get that Damon and Eamon thing. Where they've already met once, and we kind of see that they are one and the same.
Yeah.
They absolutely are one and the same. I don't know, man.
Have you heard if?
Go ahead.
No, I would say, have you heard if they're going to like kind of keep with the books through the end, or are they planning on making any like drastic changes?
I don't know anything about the books. I don't know. That's a Shauna question.
Yeah.
That is a Shauna question. And then it was also interesting because we know in the books that Eamon kind of played the murder or the death of Luke as it was on purpose. We know it was on accident. So it was kind of interesting. I was like, well, how is he going to be coming into the season? Is he going to be remorseful? Is he like, how is he going to be? And it was just like, it was like, I did it. There was no remorse there. Seemingly no remorse there.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was done intentionally, or if it wasn't done intentionally, again, that there was no remorse. Like he was just like, it is what it is. Which I feel like is just making things worse. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like if everybody just sat down and just talked it out.
Nope.
So many dragons would live. And that's
do it for the dragons. Goal, Save right? The dragons.
That's really the goal here. To keep the dragon, kill count low. Well, I don't know. Overall thoughts. What are your thoughts on episode 1?
Yeah, good. I'm excited to see. Overall good. It was without what I maybe expected, but I think it was a good pace. It was a good intro. I think it's be interesting to see. I think they have a lot of moments that are going to play out later. So I'm excited for the season.
Okay. Same here. I'm cautiously excited. I know it's only going to go up from here. But I'm just I'm just nervous. I spent a lot of the off season just trying to catch up to what happens and how everyone dies, so that I'm not like completely caught off guard. So if they stay true to the books in that regard, then I'm okay. But if they stray off anymore, like with the blood and cheese, um, I think I'm in for a rude awakening. So we'll see.
I've done no reading of the books, no catch up, no nothing. So this is all going to be new. Have not looked into anything. Have not read anything. No plots. No nothing. So coming
Not
into
me.
this fresh
Nope. I
and
needed to know
shocked.
how each and every person died. So
Well,
especially the dragons. So as long as they don't ad lib any more animal cruelty, I'm okay.
as soon as that dog got kicked, I just honestly thought of you
That
instantly. I
dog
was like, what?
That dog was not kicked. That was a punt. That dog went airborne and went some yards.
So unnecessary.
That
Why?
dog would have cleared a field goal easily. I don't understand. And for no reason. There was no reason for it.
None.
I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to say about the episode? Any final thoughts?
Nope. No more thoughts.
Nice. Yeah, I thought this was a good first episode back. I'm excited for the rest. Sunday, 9 o'clock, I will be parked on my couch with the rest of the family.
Yeah, I would prefer 9. Like 6 is kind of early. Not that it's
Oh.
early, but it's like, 8. 8 would be a good time for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
We'll tell HBO or Max or whatever they call themselves for next season. They're already shooting season 3, so they'll be back.
How many seasons are they gonna have of this?
No clue.
I mean, okay. So I wonder, like, I guess it's also with the books, like, what's the pace? Like, I don't know, how far are we at this point into the book? Like, how much is left? Are we gonna get these giant, like, 10-year jumps again? Like, or are we gonna stay pretty, like, on pace?
Couldn't tell you. I read ahead, but I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah, Shauna would know.
I don't even know if Shauna would tell us if she did know. I don't know. But she would know. Well, Anissa, do you have anything you want to say about House of Dragon real quick?
I just want to say, Team Black, Team Negro, all the way. Juneteenth tomorrow. Black forever.
Okay.
Black together. And I can't wait for Allison and Christabel to die.
Are there really people out there that are Team Green though? Like who are those people?
Apparently, 13% of the people polled on HBO Max are Team Green, and I don't understand it.
I want to get one of those people on a podcast. Do we know any Team Greens out there?
David.
What?
Is David really Team Green?
David is Team Allison. Whether he's Team Green, I don't know, but he's definitely Team Allison.
Team Delusional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we got a couple comments. So let me read some of our YouTube comments. So,
okay.
Amber says, "Oh, this is about the dragon. Her crying, and then that dragon crying out, my heart." And then I feel like it's always. I don't know what she's talking about. I feel like it's always been holding on to that hope that he'd make it. Oh yeah. Oh, that she'd always Yeah, she says that I feel like it's always be holding on to that hope that he'd make it back home somehow, unless.
Oh,
I'd feel that way. Like you'd always feel like there's hope, like someone coming back for closure. Like you'd always just be waiting and wondering.
Yeah.
And then David said that Helene is up 2-0 on those riddles.
She is. The terror beneath the floorboards and the rest.
Yeah. I knew it, man. I was like, ooh, those rats. Those aren't people. Those are rats.
You know, they're rats. Because I think she was talking about the rats in the last season. I don't think the rats just started this season. I don't think. I can't remember. But
I mean, they're in where they're at. There's got to be rats.
I don't know. Well, Nice
Okay.
and kind, Aegon. We hardly knew thee. We know.
And if you're
gone.
listening and you are Team Green, like hit us up because we need like to get you on one of these so I can hear your opinion because I don't understand. I don't think I've even heard anyone. I'm gonna have to like go searching some Team Green hashtags and see what people are saying because I just don't understand like what's the appeal to that side.
I feel like anybody that's Team Green is Team Alicent. They're Alicent sympathetic. And then I saw one person on Twitter say after the whole blood and cheese incident, "Oh, you have to be Team Green now." And I was like, "No, I don't."
Yeah.
So
Team Green's the whole. I mean, that's the whole lot.
Yeah, that's right. Like I can be Team Black, but still think that Damon is a fucking idiot, and that's what I think. Yeah. So
okay.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Again, episode 2 in a few days. Excitement.
It's every Sunday?
Huh?
It's every Sunday?
Yeah, every Sunday, 9 o'clock.
Oh,
6 o'clock.
that was every other Sunday. Okay.
Fly over here and it'll be at 9 o'clock, and then you can
fly back.
See it in that way.
Okay.
Anyway, you want to kick us off?
Yes. Let us know if there's. I mean, obviously we're booked and busy, so we don't have time to take any suggestions right now. But if you got suggestions for another time, we'll write them down after we get through the summer. But follow us Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Follow us, comment to us, and listen to us. Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening. Leave us a comment. Leave us a rating. Tell us how we're doing.
Thank you have so far. We appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Thank you to our loyal listeners.
Yeah. And with that, we will see you next time.
Until next time. Adios. Goodbye.
Bye.